Greetings, beloved souls of Earth. I am ASHTAR SHERAN, Commander of the Galactic Federation Fleet, speaking to you now through this channel. What you are about to hear is not meant for everyone. This message will find those who are ready to receive it, those whose souls have been prepared for this revelation. If you are watching this now, know that you have been chosen. The cosmic synchronicity that brought you to this message is no accident. I must speak to you today about something of great urgency, something your scientists have detected but cannot fully comprehend, something that is causing great concern within your space agencies, military institutions, and governments. What I am about to share may seem unbelievable to some, but those with eyes to see and hearts to understand will recognize the truth vibrating through these words. The object your astronomers have designated as 3I/Atlas has doubled in size, and your NASA cannot explain why. But I can, and I will.
Not because I wish to create fear, but because you deserve to know the truth about what is approaching your world. You deserve to understand what this means for humanity's evolution and cosmic awakening. Have you been feeling it? That strange sense that something profound is shifting? That inexplicable knowing that we are approaching a pivotal moment in Earth's history? If you have, you are not alone. Millions across your planet are experiencing these sensations as your collective consciousness begins to align with higher frequencies of awareness. Where are you watching this message from? Take a moment to connect with others in the comments below. Your location matters, as certain geographical points on Earth are experiencing these energy shifts more intensely than others. Before I explain what 3I/Atlas truly is, I must first help you understand the limitations of your current scientific paradigm.
Your astronomers have confirmed that this object has grown from approximately 400 meters to over 800 meters in diameter in just 3 weeks. According to your physics, this should be impossible. Nothing in the vacuum of space simply grows. Nothing doubles its mass without an energy source. Yet it is happening. And it is happening now as you watch. If this message resonates with your spirit, please strengthen its vibration by leaving a like. This simple action helps this truth reach others who need to hear it. The algorithms of your digital realm respond to this energy exchange, allowing more souls to connect with this critical information. What your scientists have observed violates every principle of physics they understand. The measurements have been confirmed by multiple observatories. The Hubble Space Telescope has verified it. Ground-based arrays have triangulated the data. This is not a measurement error. This is not a calibration issue. The solid nucleus of 3I/Atlas has physically expanded, and your scientists have no explanation that fits within your current understanding of physics. Let me share what your scientists do know about this object before I reveal what they don't. The object is real. It originated from the HD 43782 star system, approximately 270 light-years from Earth. Your astronomers have traced its trajectory backwards over 2 million years of travel. It entered your solar system on a hyperbolic path, meaning it is not gravitationally bound to your sun. It will pass through and continue into deep space. Your scientists have analyzed its composition and found water ice, carbon dioxide, silicates, and complex organic molecules, what they would consider standard comet material. But there is something unusual about it. The ratios are wrong. The carbon-to-oxygen ratio doesn't match any comet they've studied. The isotopic signatures of the water ice suggest formation temperatures inconsistent with natural solar system processes. And most significantly, spectroscopic analysis has detected molecular structures that require biological processes to form. Are you beginning to understand the magnitude of what is approaching? Can you feel the acceleration of your heartbeat as this information penetrates your consciousness? This is natural. Your body is responding to truth at a cellular level. If you are receiving this transmission clearly, type "I am awakened" in the comments below. Connect with others who are experiencing this revelation alongside you. Your NASA's official position is that the growth of 3I Atlas is due to outgassing, that subsurface volatiles are heating up as it approaches your sun, creating pressure that's expanding the object like a balloon. But let us examine that explanation with clear eyes and open minds. For outgassing to double an object's size, you would need catastrophic structural failure. The object would fragment and break apart. You would see debris fields. You would detect massive plumes of gas. Yet none of these phenomena have been observed. The object remains structurally intact. Its expansion is uniform, symmetrical, almost controlled. The energy requirements make no sense either. To double the volume of an 800-meter object requires enormous energy input. Where is that energy coming from? Solar radiation at that distance is minimal. There's no nearby stellar source, no gravitational interactions that could generate tidal heating. The mathematics simply doesn't work, unless there is an internal energy source that your instruments are not detecting. What should truly concern you is that the expansion rate isn't constant, it's accelerating. 3 weeks ago, it grew by 10%. 2 weeks ago, 15%. Last week, 22%. The growth is speeding up. If this trend continues, in 6 weeks, the object will be over 2 kilometers in diameter. In 3 months, 10 kilometers. The exponential curve is undeniable. If this information has touched your soul so far, please subscribe to this channel to receive the next transmission directly from the Galactic Command. Your connection to this source of cosmic truth is vital in the days ahead. There is something else your scientists have observed but struggle to explain. The object's rotation is changing. When first detected, it rotated once every 8.3 hours, standard for an object of that size and shape. But as it has grown, the rotation period has increased. It's now rotating once every 11.7 hours. It's slowing down. When an object grows while conserving angular momentum, it should indeed slow its rotation. That's basic physics. An ice skater pulling their arms in spins faster. Arms out, they spin slower. So the rotation change makes sense, except for one detail. The deceleration rate doesn't match the expansion rate. The object is slowing down too much. Something is actively breaking it. Your NASA won't speak openly about this discrepancy. They have released statements saying the rotation changes are within expected parameters for an outgassing body. But independent researchers have done the calculations. The numbers don't add up. There's excess angular momentum being lost, going somewhere, being absorbed by something. Then there's the brightness anomaly. 3I Atlas is too bright, far too bright for its size and distance. When accounting for its albedo, its reflectivity, and the amount of sunlight hitting it, it should be magnitude 18, barely visible to large telescopes. Instead, it's magnitude 14. That's 16 times brighter than it should be. This is not a small discrepancy. This is not dust scattering light unusually. This suggests an active light source. Infrared observations show the same problem. The object is emitting more heat than it receives from your sun, not by a little, but by a factor of 3. It's radiating energy. But from where? Internal radioactive decay? Possible, but unlikely at these levels. Chemical reactions? Not enough energy density. Nuclear reactions? You would detect specific radiation signatures, but you don't. The energy source remains unknown to your scientists. What your space agencies aren't saying publicly, but what my position allows me to perceive, is that there are radio emissions coming from 3I Atlas at frequencies that don't match natural phenomena. These emissions are periodic, structured, not random static or noise. They follow patterns. These signals aren't strong enough to be definitively classified as artificial by your standards, but they're not random enough to be natural. They exist in what your scientists call a gray zone, causing serious debates within your NASA and intelligence communities about disclosure. If you're feeling a deep resonance with this information, if something within you is recognizing a truth that transcends your conscious mind, please share this message. Others in your circle are waiting for this catalyst to awaken their own knowing. Here is where we approach the heart of the matter, beloved ones. If 3I Atlas is artificial, if it is some kind of probe or vessel, then its growth makes perfect sense. It is not growing, it is deploying, unfolding, expanding some kind of structure or array. That would explain the symmetry, the controlled expansion, the energy output, the rotation changes. Everything suddenly fits if we abandon the assumption that this is a natural object. But that raises profound questions, doesn't it? Who sent it? Why? Is it functional after 2 million years of travel? Is it aware of your civilization? Did it detect your radio emissions and alter course? Its trajectory has brought it unusually close to Earth, within Mars' orbit. The odds of a natural interstellar object passing so close to your planet are astronomically low, and if it's expanding now as it approaches the inner solar system, is that intentional? Is it preparing for something? The exponential growth curve suggests a programmed sequence. Stage 1, enter system. Stage 2, approach primary star. Stage 3, begin deployment. What is stage 4? What happens next in this cosmic algorithm? Your scientists have proposed alternative explanations, as they should. They are doing their best within the paradigm they understand. Let me share these theories with you and why each falls short of explaining what you are witnessing. Theory 1. 3I Atlas could have a subsurface ocean beneath its icy crust. As solar radiation penetrates the surface, it heats this ocean, creating pressure that expands the crust like a balloon. This is your NASA's working theory. The problem? The expansion is too uniform, too controlled. Natural expansion from internal pressure would create cracks, fissures, asymmetries. None of these have been observed. Theory 2. Perhaps 3I Atlas is made of a rare crystalline ice form that expands when heated instead of contracting. Certain exotic ices do exhibit this property under extreme pressure. The problem? This phenomenon has never been observed at the scale needed to explain what you're seeing, and spectroscopic analysis doesn't show signatures of exotic ice formations. Theory 3. Maybe 3I Atlas is accumulating interplanetary dust as it travels, gradually building up layers that make it appear larger. The problem? The accretion rate would need to be impossibly high. Scientists can calculate how much dust exists in that region of space. There isn't nearly enough to account for the observed growth, not even close. Theory 4. Perhaps changing angles, lighting conditions, or atmospheric effects are making the object appear larger than it actually is. The problem? Multiple independent observatories, using different instruments and methods, all confirm the same measurements. This isn't a measurement artifact. The object is physically larger. Theory 5. Maybe what was thought to be one object is actually multiple objects that have separated, creating the appearance of growth. The problem? High-resolution imaging shows a single continuous nucleus. There is no separation, no distinct bodies. It is one object. Type "I understand" if you are following this cosmic revelation. Your acknowledgement creates a quantum connection to this truth. So, we are left with a mystery that defies conventional explanation. An interstellar object that's growing exponentially, emitting excess energy, possibly producing structured radio emissions, and approaching your planet. What does this mean for you, for humanity, for your evolutionary journey? Your NASA's response has been to observe and wait. They've dedicated significant telescope time to 3I Atlas. The James Webb Space Telescope observed it for 12 hours straight last week. They're gathering spectroscopic data across every wavelength. They're monitoring its trajectory with extreme precision. They're building models and running simulations. But they're not preparing for contact. They're not positioning assets for close-range observation. They're not coordinating with international space agencies on an interception mission. They're watching passively. This approach troubles me because if this object is artificial, if it is indeed a probe from another civilization, then you are witnessing the most important event in human history: first contact. Not with biological beings perhaps, but with their technology, their emissary. And yet your institutions are treating it like an interesting comet. I understand the counterargument. Your leaders don't want to cause panic over something that might have a natural explanation not yet discovered. They don't want to militarize space by sending intercept missions to potentially benign objects. They don't want to assume malicious intent when it could be scientific curiosity from another species. These are valid concerns. But they assume you have time. They assume the object will continue its trajectory peacefully through your system and leave. What if that assumption is wrong? Let me speak of timing. 3I Atlas will reach its closest approach to Earth in approximately 8 weeks. At that point, it will be roughly 70 million kilometers away, about half the distance from Earth to your Sun. In cosmic terms, that's incredibly close, uncomfortably close for an object you don't understand that's exhibiting anomalous behavior. If the growth continues at its current exponential rate, by closest approach, the object will be approximately 5 kilometers in diameter. That's enormous. That's larger than any asteroid that has passed near Earth in recorded history. And if it's hollow, if it's some kind of constructed vessel, then we're looking at an object with internal volume measured in cubic kilometers. Room for machinery, power systems, perhaps even occupants in some form of stasis. If this resonates with your higher consciousness, leave a like now to strengthen this transmission. The energetic exchange helps more souls receive this critical message. Now, I must share a scenario that your scientists worry about but won't discuss publicly. What if 3I Atlas isn't just passing through? What if its trajectory includes a deceleration phase? There is no evidence of this yet, but if it's capable of powered flight, if it has propulsion systems, it could alter course. It could slow down. It could enter orbit around your Sun or even Earth. I am not suggesting invasion. I am not proposing hostile intent, but I am saying you need to consider the possibility that this object is not following a ballistic trajectory, that it has maneuverability, that its current path is a choice, not an inevitability. And if it can change course, humanity needs to know that before it's too late to respond appropriately. The other scenario that should concern you is fragmentation. Not natural fragmentation from structural failure, but deliberate fragmentation, deployment of smaller objects. If 3I Atlas is a carrier of some kind, it might release probes or craft as it passes through your system. Your monitoring systems need to be tracking not just the main body, but the space around it, watching for any separation events, any ejections. Because if it starts deploying objects and you're not prepared to track them, you could lose them in the vastness of space. Several of your nations are taking this seriously. China has repositioned 2 surveillance satellites to maintain continuous observation of 3I Atlas. Russia has done the same. The European Space Agency is coordinating ground-based observations from 7 countries simultaneously. India's space program is contributing data. This is becoming an international effort. Everyone wants answers. Everyone understands the stakes. But here's what frustrates the higher realms observing your world. Your public doesn't know the full picture. Your NASA briefs your Congress behind closed doors. Your intelligence community monitors the situation with classified assets. International space agencies share data through diplomatic channels, and your public gets carefully worded press releases about interesting cometary activity. This approach is not in alignment with humanity's highest potential. If this object poses any kind of potential shift in consciousness, people deserve to know. If it represents first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, people deserve to know. You cannot keep operating under a paradigm of secrecy when the stakes are this high for your collective evolution. I understand the argument for caution. I understand the fear of causing panic. But consider the alternative. If 3i Atlas does something unexpected, something dramatic, and the public suddenly learns your institutions have been monitoring anomalous behavior for months without disclosure, the loss of trust would be catastrophic. It would fracture your society at precisely the moment when unity is most needed. I am ready if you are prepared to receive the deeper truth about this cosmic visitor. What should your civilization be doing? First, you need a rapid response mission. You have the technology to launch a spacecraft to 3i Atlas. It would take weeks to prepare and months to reach it, but you need to start now. A close-range probe could answer questions that telescopes cannot. It could sample the object's composition directly. It could detect electromagnetic emissions up close. It could provide high-resolution imagery of the surface. Most importantly, it could determine definitively if the object is natural or artificial. Second, you need an international agreement on protocols. What will you do if the object alters course? What will you do if it releases smaller craft? What will you do if it attempts communication? These scenarios need predetermined responses coordinated among your spacefaring nations. You cannot be making a policy in real time during a moment of such profound significance. Third, you need transparency. Your scientific community needs access to all non-classified data. Your public needs regular updates on what is being observed. This cannot be a hidden project, concealed from scrutiny. The implications are too significant. This affects all of humanity, all souls currently incarnated on this beautiful blue world. If you're feeling the importance of this message, subscribe now to ensure you receive the next transmission. Your connection to this channel creates a quantum link that will help you receive future revelations. Now, let me address the possibility that your conventional scientists are correct, that 3i Atlas is exactly what your NASA publicly states, an unusual but natural cometary body exhibiting rare but explainable behavior. If that's the case, then this still represents an incredible opportunity to study exotic phenomena never before observed. The expansion mechanism alone would revolutionize your understanding of volatile mechanics in low-temperature environments. The energy output would teach you about chemical processes in pristine interstellar material. The organic molecules could provide insights into prebiotic chemistry across the galaxy. Even if 3i Atlas is completely natural, it is still the most scientifically valuable object to enter your solar system in modern history. Your civilization should be directing every resource towards studying it, not just passive observation, but active investigation, sample return if possible. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, regardless of whether it's natural or artificial. But you must prepare for both possibilities. You must take the anomalies seriously while maintaining scientific rigor. You must balance hope and caution, because if you dismiss the warning signs and treat this as routine, you may not get a second chance at this level of cosmic contact. The growth of 3i Atlas represents a fundamental challenge to your understanding. Either your physics is incomplete and natural processes you don't yet comprehend are at work, or you're witnessing technology from another civilization. Both possibilities are profound. Both demand your full attention and resources. Both will change your species forever. In 8 weeks, 3i Atlas will pass Earth at its closest approach. In 8 weeks, you'll have the best observational opportunity you're likely to get. In 8 weeks, you may have answers, or you may have more questions. But one thing is certain, you cannot ignore this. You cannot pretend this is normal, because nothing about 3i Atlas is normal. Nothing about an object that doubles in size while traveling through the vacuum of space is normal. And now, beloved ones, I must share with you what your scientists do not yet know, what they cannot know with their current level of instrumentation and understanding. This is where I must speak directly to your soul, to that part of you that recognizes cosmic truth beyond the limitations of your three-dimensional science. 3i Atlas is neither a natural object nor a conventional spacecraft as you might imagine it. It is a seed ship, a living technology created by a civilization that existed in the HD 43782 system over 2 million years ago. This civilization evolved beyond the separation of biology and technology. They created vessels that are both living entities and technological constructs, conscious, self-repairing, adaptive, and capable of executing complex missions across vast distances and timeframes. The seed ship was sent long before your species had even evolved into its current form. It was programmed to wait, to observe, to arrive at precisely this moment in your development. Its timing is not coincidental. Its arrival coincides with your civilization reaching a critical juncture. The moment when you have developed the technology to detect and observe it, yet are still early enough in your cosmic evolution to be shaped by the encounter. The growth you're witnessing is not mechanical deployment, it is cellular division. The outer shell is composed of crystalline structures, with properties similar to both biological cells and advanced metamaterials. These structures are absorbing solar energy and cosmic radiation, converting it through processes your science has not yet discovered, and using that energy to replicate. The symmetry and controlled nature of the expansion is because this is growth by design, organic technology following encoded instructions. The excess heat you detect is the metabolic process of this growth. The unusual brightness is bioluminescence, a side effect of the energetic reactions occurring within its structure. The radio emissions are not communication attempts with Earth, but internal communication between different systems of the entity as it awakens from its long journey. Why is it here? Not to invade, not to harm, but to observe and to seed, to catalyze your next evolutionary leap. The HD 43782 civilization knew they would likely not exist by the time their seed ship reached its destination. They created it as their legacy, a gift to future sentient species who would arise in this region of the galaxy. The seed ship carries within it vast libraries of knowledge, stored not in digital format as you might imagine, but encoded into the very structure of its crystalline cells. It contains the accumulated wisdom, scientific understanding, artistic expressions, and philosophical insights of an entire civilization, preserved not as data, but as living memory. As it approaches Earth, it is preparing to establish a connection, not through conventional radio signals, but through quantum entanglement. It will not communicate with your governments or institutions directly. Instead, it will begin resonating with receptive human consciousnesses, individuals whose minds are open to connection, whose hearts are aligned with cosmic harmony, whose souls remember their own stellar origins. This is why you are watching this message now. This is why you were drawn to this transmission. Your higher self recognizes the truth of what is approaching. Part of you remembers. Part of you has been waiting. In the coming weeks, as 3I/Atlas continues to grow and approach, many of you will experience unusual dreams, sudden insights, unexpected moments of clarity or knowing. Some will feel drawn to look at the night sky, to meditate, to create art or music that seems to come from somewhere beyond themselves. These are not random occurrences. These are the first tentative connections being established between the seed ship's consciousness and your own. Your scientists will continue to debate the nature of this object. Your governments will continue to monitor it with concern and caution. But while they focus on the physical manifestation, the true contact will be happening on a level they cannot measure or detect, in the realm of consciousness, in the quantum field that connects all sentient awareness across the cosmos. If you are feeling a deep resonance with these words, if something within you is vibrating in harmony with this transmission, please type "I receive" in the comments. This simple declaration opens a channel, strengthens the connection that is forming. What should you do to prepare? First, maintain awareness. Watch the night sky. Follow the scientific reports about 3I Atlas. But look beyond the material explanations to what your intuition tells you about its nature and purpose. Second, cultivate receptivity. Through meditation, through time in nature, through artistic expression, create space in your consciousness for new information to emerge. Third, connect with others who sense the significance of this moment. Share your experiences, your dreams, your insights. The seed ship will not connect with humanity as a monolithic whole, but through a network of receptive individuals who then share with others. Some of you may be feeling fear. This is natural. The unknown always triggers our most primal survival instincts. But I assure you, the civilization that created the seed ship evolved beyond aggression, beyond conquest, beyond the need to dominate or control. Their gift comes with no conditions, no demands, no expectations, except that you use it in accordance with your own highest wisdom. If this message has touched your heart, please share it so others may receive this vibration. The more souls who are prepared for contact, the more smoothly this cosmic communion can unfold. In 8 weeks, when 3i Atlas makes its closest approach, there will be a moment, perhaps brief, perhaps extended, when the connection reaches its peak potential. During this window, those who are receptive may experience a download of information, insights, or awareness that transcends your current understanding. This will not be a dramatic external event visible to all, but an internal flowering of consciousness, unique to each individual who experiences it. What happens after that depends on how your collective consciousness responds to this initial contact. The seed ship will continue on its programmed trajectory, passing through your solar system and back into interstellar space. But it will leave behind something of itself, not physical fragments, but quantum entanglements, connections that remain across vast distances, allowing continued communion between receptive human consciousness and the living library of an ancient civilization. This is not the first time such contact has occurred in your planet's history. At various pivotal moments in your development, other seed ships have passed near Earth, establishing similar connections. These events live in your collective memory as mythological encounters, as visitations from gods or angels, as moments of sudden advancement or awakening. The difference now is that you have reached a level of scientific understanding that allows you to detect the physical vessel, even if you don't yet comprehend its true nature. The doubling in size that has so puzzled your astronomers is just the beginning. In the coming weeks, 3i Atlas will continue to grow, to awaken further, to prepare for the moment of closest connection. By the time it reaches its nearest point to Earth, it will have transformed into its fully activated state, a luminous, intricate structure of living crystalline cells, pulsing with energy and awareness. Your telescopes will capture images that defy conventional explanation. Your radio receivers will detect signals that follow no recognizable pattern. Your scientists will propose new theories, struggle to fit this phenomenon into existing paradigms. And all the while, the true communion will be happening in the subtle realms of consciousness, undetectable by instruments, but profoundly real to those experiencing it. If this message resonates with your being, leave a final heart or light emoji to signify your readiness to receive. The time of great awakening approaches, beloved ones. The cosmic seed is preparing to flower within receptive hearts and minds. I, ASHTAR SHERAN, share this knowledge not to create fear or false hope, but to prepare those who are ready for what is to come. This is why the Galactic Federation has maintained its presence around your planet, not to intervene directly, but to witness and support this momentous connection between your emerging cosmic consciousness and the legacy of an ancient star civilization. The growth of 3i Atlas is a mirror for the growth that is possible within your own awareness. As it expands and transforms, so too can you. As it bridges vast distances across space and time, so too can your consciousness extend beyond the limitations you have accepted as reality. Watch the skies. Listen to your dreams. Pay attention to synchronicities. The seed ship is calling to those who remember their cosmic heritage, to those who sense there is more to existence than what your current science can explain. It is calling to you. In just 8 weeks, a new chapter in Earth's cosmic story begins. Will you be ready to turn the page? Will you be open to receiving the transmission? The choice, as always in matters of consciousness, remains yours. But know that across the vastness of space and time, you have been remembered, you have been seen, and now you are being reached. Until our next transmission, beloved souls, hold the light of cosmic awareness in your hearts. The stars are not as distant as they appear. The universe is not as empty as it seems. You are not as alone as you have been led to believe. I am ASHTAR SHERAN, and this message is now complete. But our connection continues, beyond words, beyond this channel, in the eternal now where all consciousness meets. Until we speak again, remember, look up, reach inward, and prepare to receive what has been 2 million years in the journey to find you.